Hey everybody, it's Topwater Johnny, and in this bass fishing video, we're going to be doing an unboxing of my newest Topwater Lures and swim baits. So let's go! Whoa! There we go! Yeah! Woo! Holy cow, folks! Topwater Johnny here, man. This is what we came here for. Look at that. Get back here. Look at that right there. That's the kind of beast that we came here for. There we go. Woo! At that one. Hooked. Hey everybody, it's Topwater Johnny. Want to welcome you to the next video here. In this video, I'll be doing an unboxing of some of my newest Topwater lures, as well as some really cool swim bait lures that I think will be great as a topwater lure as well. And what I want to do here in this video is really just reveal these lures to you, give you a little insight about them, some ideas about them, and then as we go forward, you will see these lures in action on the water, and each one will get its own individual video. But I wanted to show you all of these lures together, just so that you can see the type of lures that I'll be working with going forward here. So let's go ahead and get started right now. Oh, and also, please be sure to like, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. That's very important there. So let's go ahead and get going. Okay, everybody, so we're gonna start with our unboxing here. And one of the lures that I wanna start off with here is one you saw actually in the past, and you saw me lose this lure. It was the XJF MEGABASS. This was the lure that you saw me lose in a previous video here, and I actually got this lure back in stock now, so it was really good to get this lure back. And it was definitely a costly loss, because this lure, as you can see right here, I don't know if you can see that, but it costs $24.99, does not include shipping. But there is that beautiful lure right there that I had lost in the past. Make sure that I had lost in the past right there. But look at that. That is such a beautiful lure right there. It's a wake bait, and it's got, like I said before, it's got that metal tail in the back. Actually, I can remove the tail if I wanted to, and it'll still have a much more of a kind of a crankbait thing going on. But I'm all about top water and wake bait, so that's why I definitely keep it on the surface area right here. Beautiful design, beautiful look to it right here. The bass definitely hear this thing coming, and that eye is there, and it's got the bluegill belly on the bottom as well. And this definitely is just a beautiful lure, has great movement in the water here, and I fished it in the morning time, so that's when it really was excelling. But during broad daylight, because of how shiny it is, it can be picked up in the water by the fish, and it's just a great lure right here. So I wanted to show you guys, for those out there that had watched the previous video on this one, it's in my actual description box where you could check out the video link or go to my channel and you'll see it there, and you'll be able to see this lure in action again. So this is the MEGABASS XJF, and if you want to see it in action and see me do testing on it and do a deeper look at it, then go over there and check it out. But there you go. All right, here's our next lure up. Check this out, everybody. This right here is the Headbanger Spitfire right here. It's a topwater lure. The length is actually 4.5 inches long. The weight is 3 1/4 actual ounces here. The price on this one is $14.99. And I want to make sure I give a shout out to Uneat Harrison. He's the one that recommended that I check out this lure here. And this really is an amazing lure right here. It's got this front piece on here that you attach onto right here. And what happens is that this lure actually runs off of this front piece here, and it moves right to left, almost like a jitterbug. So you have that real jitterbug action. You have the segmentation here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4 segmented pieces here. So this runs across the top, gives off a lot of action, actually even creates a bubble trail behind it as well here. So this really looks like a fleeing fish. When the fish are busting on the top of the water, this is a great lure to throw. Also, when they're feeding in the shallows, running this through the shallows here. Big, strong, stout hooks. I'll, of course, be fishing with this one and doing a test on it like I will with all of my lures. But I wanted to show you guys this lure right here. Not sure if you've ever seen the Headbanger Spitfire before, but this is a great lure that you can fish during the daytime. You can fish it in the evening time and nighttime because it creates a lot of noise and disturbance. But the best time I've seen is definitely during the daytime. I fished this on a spinning tackle with 30-pound or 25-pound braid, and I attach right to the leader right here and just reel it. And it really does all the work for you. So this is a great lure. Like I said, this is in the bluegill pattern, and this is the Headbanger Spitfire. All right. Oops, and I almost forgot. You can buy this, and I actually bought this at headbangerlures.com, so I actually bought it from the actual website of the maker of it. I'm sure eventually it'll be in other outlets, maybe Tackle Warehouse, maybe Tackle Direct, somewhere else. I'm not sure at this moment, but that's where I bought it from. I actually bought it from the actual website for this lure, headbangerlures.com. That's where I bought it at, just so everybody knows. Okay. All right, everybody. The next lure up is the 13 Fishing Spin Walker right here. As you can see right there, got that little blade right there as well right here. This is called the Spin Walker by 13 Fishing. I actually bought this in Florida at a bait shop, but I looked online and you can buy this at Tackle Warehouse. The actual price is $19.99. The length is 4.25 in inches, and the weight is 2/3 of an ounce. And these are number 2 treble hooks right here as well. And this is actually a pretty big, beefy lure right here. As you can hear, it's got rattles in it as well. This one right here, I put this one on my 7-foot braid, 7-foot rod bait caster, Corrado, with 30-pound braid. And because of the nature of this lure right here, you have to kind of be strategic about where you're going to fish this at here. I've had the most success at this point fishing this lure early in the morning when it's still it's a little bit of light, but it's still kind of dark on the water. And then this lure really can excel as a fleeing bait fish. During broad daylight, I don't think this lure is going to be the greatest lure in the world because I think the bass can really get a good look at it and they're not really that impressed with it. But early in the morning, when it's fleeing across the top of the water, I think that's when it really excels the most and you get the most action out of it. Or at night, this would probably be another time that this would be a great lure because then the bass are really keen on sound and using their lateral line to hone in on a target as well. When you fish this lure, what I realized with this is that it's really about a popping it. It's like you're almost jerking it a little bit, but you pop it and it goes forward a little bit and that blade spins and you stop it. You jerk it a little bit and that blade spins and then it stops. And that's how I've had the most success with using this particular lure right here. I think it's a really cool lure because of this little spinning blade back here, but you've really got to put yourself in the right situation. I wouldn't be fishing clear water with this. Dirty water, early in the morning, late at night. Those are the times where I think this lure would really excel, but it's a great lure once again. And so like I said before, this right here is the 13 Fishing Spin Walker. All right. All right, and our next lure up here is the Zman Pop Z right here. I got this at a bait shop as well, but I've definitely seen these on Tackle Warehouse's website here. They actually come in a box here of 3. So you get 3 of these, and this is that Z-Man stuff, so you know it's super stretchy, and it definitely will not break. The price is $5.99. And they come in 4-inch as well as they come in a 3-inch as well here. So one of the things about fishing top water is sometimes you're going to try to fish top water in heavy cover, or you're going to try to be fishing top water in sparse cover. Now you can use a frog, of course. You can use all kind of other types of lures to get into that sparse cover or heavy cover. But what I like about this right here is this allows you to have a weedless presentation right in that gunk, whether it's on top of grass or it's on top of lily pads, and you're throwing into those little pockets there and you're really letting it sit there and you're popping it along. So this is kind of a heavy cover popping type of lure for that situation. I'll show you what it looks like when it's set up here on the hook and everything. As you can see, I've got it set up there on the hook as well. In the top right here, there is a slit in the top of it right here so that you can have a weedless presentation right there. Huge slit in the bottom right here where you can slide it in here. And definitely this allows you to have just a great weedless presentation in the shallows, in the cover, in the lily pads as well. Now, when I'm fishing something like this right here, I'll end up fishing this potentially on 20-pound monofilament, still be on a 7-foot rod. I will throw this on spinning tackle or a bait caster. It just depends on the situation that I'm in. But I would say to everybody, hey, when in doubt, use spinning tackle because it might help you be a little bit more accurate, a little bit more precise when you're fishing it. But if you're going to be popping this thing, really trying to pop it like a popper, that's when the bait caster really makes a lot more sense. But you can do it on a spinning tackle as well. And I just wanted to kind of show you guys this particular lure right here and where it would excel. The price on it, like I said before, you get 3 of them. And the Pop Shad really does, it truly is an incredible Z-Man product because this stuff just doesn't break. So this right here is another great top water lure when the bass are hiding in that heavy cover or even if they're breaking on top. All right. Okay, everybody. Now our next lure now, this is where we kind of shift gears here and move into some of the harder swim baits. And the lure I'm going to show you here, the reason I got it is because it is so realistic for the shallows when you're fishing top water. Now I'm fishing in the shallows with this lure here and it's just an incredible look to it. And I want to show it to you here. Now look at this lure right here. This lure is beautiful. This is the Bucca Baby Bull Gill right here. And I saw this lure at Dick's Sporting Goods. Now you can buy it online, of course. The price is $14.99. The weight is 3.75 ounces. And the actual, I'm sorry, say that again. The actual length is 3.75. The weight is 3.25 ounces here. And this is a actual jointed swim bait. And it has one of the best movements, has that brillo tail in the back here. But it truly has one of the best movements that you would ever see in a swim bait. Now, I love that gilling that I have because you saw me get my PB on it. But this right here, oh my goodness, this is a beautiful lure. And especially if you're fishing in ponds or lakes where the bass are eating bluegill, this right here truly does match the hatch, and it's a bigger version of the other one that I talked about with you guys. Now, here's an important lesson to learn. Anything hitting this lure right here, that's going to be a big bass because it just is a big body coming at them, and this is a big meal for a big bass. Now, what would you throw it on? Of course, I've got a 7-foot rod. I'm still going to be throwing it on 30-pound braid, but I'm going to tie a leader to it, and I'll end up having a 20-pound fluorocarbon leader to this right here. And so that allows me to create that seamless look to the fish where they don't see the braid. But this right here, running it through the shallows, running it through other cover areas where bluegills congregate, or even throwing it over beds. This right here is a great lure. Now, for those that are dealing with fish that are pursuing shad, here's another lure that I got as well. This one right here is the same category. The Bucca Baby Shad right here. That I think it's not Baby Bull Shad, and that's the name of it here again. Great movement in the water as well. Same price, $14.99. Same length, which is so kind of ironic, is that they're actually the same length here. So it's still 3.75 in length, same weight as well. So if they're pursuing shad or chasing something that looks more like this would be a lure that you could use as well. These are great for starter individuals when they're first starting out with swim baits like myself. Like you guys know, I'm a top water guy. But these lures really are great introductions into that space and checking it out. Now for me, as a top water guy, the only reason I'm fishing swim baits is because they look so realistic in the shallows. If they were kind of looking weird or a little bit different, maybe like a crankbait, I probably wouldn't be as attracted to them, but they look so realistic of what the fish are chasing, what the bass are pursuing, that I'm kind of getting pulled into the swim bait world. So you'll see a little bit more swim bait videos out of me, only because the lures look so realistic when you're fishing them in the shallows near the top, near top water, near the top of the water surface. So that's why you're going to see that. But this right here, once again, great lure, Mike Bucca's Baby Bull Gill right here. You'll see it in the future in some of my videos. This is a great lure, and I know it's going to get bit. All right. All right, everybody. And our final lure here is a little bit of a special lure for Topwater Johnny. And the reason I say this is because it was Steve Chapman from Get Your Fish On. This is a friend of mine, and we've been fishing together, and he gave me a little bag of lures. And it was kind of funny that he gave me this lure, knowing that I'm Topwater Johnny, but he gave me this rather unusual lure that I really was a little bit reluctant to fish, but I started fishing it, and I think that it has a lot of potential here. And just check it out here. Now look at this thing right here, everybody. Look at that monster right there. This is the Thunder Hawk Thunderbelly 5-inch swim bait. And this is a lot of lure right here. And I kind of laughed about it when he first gave it to me, because when I open up the box, you actually get 2 of them. And it actually comes with, look at this hook right here, everybody. This is crazy. This thing comes with this big hook right here. That's a 1/4 ounce weight on the bottom of it. That's a big beast hook right here that goes into this actual lure right here. Now that's not normally what I fish with, but there was one day on the water, and the water was really choppy, and I was really having a tough time with my top water. So I went ahead and rigged this thing up just as a joke, rigged it up and got a hit on it. And man, after that, I realized that those bass were down there and they were still willing to pursue such a big bait like this right here. And the bait, this actual bait weighs 1 ounce, and the hook that comes with it, this is a 5/0 1/4 ounce weighted hook right here. The actual price on this setup right here, you get 2, and the price is with the hook as well, which is kind of cool. That's $10.99. You can buy this at Thunderhawk Lures, and I'm sure you can buy it somewhere else, but you can get it at thunderhawklures.com. And I fished it and got some hits on it, and I was just amazed. So in the future, you're going to see some videos of me fishing with this lure right here. Huge big boot tail in the back. This thing puts off a lot of action and movement in the water here, which is pretty exciting here. I even bought for it another big hook, as you can see right here, that even comes with a blade on the bottom of it here. Let me show it to you real quick, because like I said, if I'm going to fish this big boy, I'm going to fish this big boy. Check that out right there. So that's what actually, so now, not only do I have it in this hook set right here, I've got this part right here. So now I even have a little bit more action on it as well. So the question is, what do you fish this with? Well, this is a big swim bait right here. So I don't really have a big swim bait rod, so to speak. So here's what I did was I turned around just to show you guys, and I was at the sporting goods shop, and I actually have a catfish rod right here. So this is what I call it, basically just a heavy rod right here. And I got it at Sports Academy. Let's see here. And let's see what I got here. This is a 7-foot heavy, medium fast rod right here. And it can hold weights up to a 1/2 ounce up to 2 ounce rod. So that's what this can support right here. I've actually got my Corrado on here, and this is actually not my DC, but my 200. This 200 can handle bigger baits. And so what I did was I took that particular rod setup, and that's how I'm able to throw this actual big bait here, because I throw some big top waters, but I use that setup. So the rod is actually a catfish rod. And then I use my Corrado 200, which is my bait caster. And then I put braided line on it, and I have 30-pound braid on there going to a 20-pound monofilament, 20-pound fluorocarbon leader. And that's what I attached to fish this big bait right here. And so I wasn't a real fan of it at first, but I fished it and I saw fish go at it. I saw followers and I saw fish hitting it. And so for that reason alone, I got hooked on it. So I just give a shout out to Steve Chapman of Get Your Fish On for giving this to me. I don't know if he thought I was going to fish with it, but I did, and it does produce results. So once again, I'm fishing this lure only because it looks realistic. That's the real reason. Not that I want to be a swim bait fishing guy. I'm a topwater guy. But if I can match the hatch, if I can find a lure that really talks to those fish in the sense of like, they're going to hit that. And here's the other part about fishing a lure that's a 5-inch like this. You know it's going to be a big fish. That's what you know for sure. So once again, it was just really impressive. And I look forward to showing you guys more of this lure in the future here. So what we've done here is I wanted to show you guys the newest lures that I've got out. I'm running tests on them right now. I'm fishing them right now, but I wanted you to see what I was fishing with here. And so what we're going to do is a quick recap, and then I'll come back and give you my final thoughts. Okay, everybody, here they are here. The first one up is the Headbanger Spitfire. The next one on here is the 13 Fishing Spin Walker. The next one on here is the Bucca Bull Gill. The next one on here is the Zman Pop Shadz Z. And finally, the next one here is the Thunderhawk Thunderbelly 5-inch. And these are my topwater lure and swim bait lure unboxing. Okay, we're back. I hope you enjoyed that quick recap of all the lures that we talked about here today. So in this video, that's really what it was about. It was an unboxing. It was to reveal to you some lures that I'm going to be getting out in the water, and I'm going to be testing, and I'm going to be fishing with, and each one will get its own in-depth review. But I just wanted to unbox those for you, show them to you. Question is simply this: have you ever seen those lures before? Have you ever fished with those lures before? Then if you fish with them, what's been your experience with those lures? So each one is very different and very unique, but they're all very realistic, and they all can get the job done. So I'm just looking forward to continuing to fish with them. So love to get your thoughts. Love to hear what you guys think about them as well. Also, in the next video, we're going to be rolling out another video, I'm trying to figure out whether it's going to be a swim bait or topwater video for Monday. I'm not sure yet. Kind of got to think about it a little bit here because I've got lots of footage of different lures that I've been fishing with, and I really like giving you guys a really complete fishing experience. So I got to kind of think about which one I'm going to use, which one I'm going to roll out on Monday here. But either way, hopefully you'll enjoy it and have a lot of fun watching that video as well. Also, please, as always, please like, subscribe to the channel. If you've got any thoughts or feedback, please give those to me. As I said before, Uneat Harrison, just want to thank you once again. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize, because your name is running together on the YouTube like username thing. But I want to thank that gentleman for recommending the actual Headbanger Spitfire. It is a great, great lure. So I want to thank you for that. And if you've got a lure that you think would be really cool for me to check out, please be sure to write that in the description box as well. And if I get that lure, I will definitely give you a shout out. I will definitely let everyone know that you're the one that put me on to it as well. And I just want to thank each and every one of you. And when I fished this lure right here, there was a gentleman that talked about tying knots to this lure. And I will give that person a shout out when I put this back in the water and get it out there on the water fishing again. I just don't remember their name right now, but I will definitely give them a shout out for recommending how to tie a knot to this lure and not lose it. So I just want to thank each and every one of you guys for being subscribers to the channel. Please continue to like the channel. If you haven't, if you're watching and you're not a sub, what are you waiting on? Please go ahead and sub the channel, because I really do appreciate each and every one of you. So once again, this is Topwater Johnny saying that phrase: keep your line tight, because when you hit those topwater lures and those realistic swim baits, it's going to be a big bite. I'll see you in the next video.